Hello everybody and welcome to today's vlog. Today's vlog is so exciting. I've been waiting about a month for it. My very good research friend Rich is actually down from where he lives, and today we're going to be taking documents from the National Archives, original crash reports, and we're going to be going and looking for more crash sites that we know should exist somewhere out on the moors, and we're just going to go and see whether or not we can actually find any evidence of where they actually are. Most importantly to me is W5557. I've already been out to the location where it should be. I know exactly in which trajectory it should be, but I couldn't find any evidence of it at all because of how the peat has been milled over the years, and how the surface of the moors is now completely different to what it would have been in the 1940s when that plane crashed. So fingers crossed today it will be a real eye-opener for me. I have never been plane crash site hunting before, other than crash sites where I know exactly where they are, where people have told me about them. So this is an absolute first, and I feel so privileged. So fingers crossed, let's see if we can find another Lancaster or a Wellington, or there is a Hampton out there somewhere, and a Halifax. So who knows what we're going to find? It's going to be so exciting. I just want to show this as well. How typical is this? It has been absolutely gorgeous for the past 2 weeks, and the day when I'm spending the whole day out on the moors, rain. I mean, you couldn't make it up, could you? How typical is that? Flipping weather. So this is the site that we know of R1073, which was cloud chasing, and there are some pieces here even with the identification numbers on, and that's the geodetic frame. Probably left over from the peat cutters. Not really much of it identifiable now. There is some red paint on there though, I think. And lots of rivets. Of the Lancaster bomber, the one that crashed during the war years, but nobody died. They were all able to get out, and so there are plates of metal everywhere, and this is where the fire has happened on the moors, where everything has been incinerated, and so all the metal has merged into pieces, like big clumps. So this is one side of the bank. I'll go over the other side in a minute. Just loads and loads of pieces of metal. Gosh, that's all joined and connected. And full of ants. An ant house. So with this being a crash site but not classed as a war grave, you can touch the items but you can't remove anything. So you just have to be a bit respectful for everything. It's quite funny because you see something that looks like a stone and then you get a closer look at it and you realise it's man-made. try and show as much as I can. So I believe this is part of the mount of a Merlin engine. Look at some of the component parts on there and you'd never believe that they were 80 years old. They look like they could have been dumped out here not that long ago. Look at the split pins. And then over here, so I've had this identified as possibly a generator. And then under here, an oxygen bottle. Now I'm not going to touch that because they can be pressurised. So the last thing I want to do is go boom. And it's really tricky with the silver birch because there's more bits of plane under there which I can't get to because there's a tree on top of it. Right, I'll go over the bank. Side of the bank with all of the metal on. There's just loads and loads of pieces. And I have been told that there is only Lancaster part here because we do believe that this is a deposit site from a crash, not the actual crash site. So when they were cutting the peat moors, all the big bits of metal were removed out of the way so that it didn't harm the peat cutters' tools. But there are some enormous bits out here. And I've just been told some very interesting bits about some pieces of metal as well, which I will show you in a second. Another piece of melted something. So Rich has just shown me this, which he has cleaned off, which has clearly got a stamp there and an AM, which is apparently from the Air Ministry. What did you say this bit's called?
It's a pipe union.
A pipe union. So Air Ministry on one side, and then it's got the marks on the other side. SD/603 Mark 3A. So if anyone wants to Google that for me, that would be great. And this is another piece that I found, which has got a really interesting bit on it because it looks to have some form of rubber or something that is cradled in there. Again, loads more split pins everywhere. They were definitely a fan of a split pin. And then the biggest piece of metal, which everybody keeps asking me to come back to see if I can uncover more of it, is behind me. But I can't get to it because there's that great big whack-off tree stump in the way. Another split pin. These thingies here. Great big long arm. And it goes all the way under there. And then there's this bit as well. You can literally be here all day and still find bits of metal to look at. Pieces of window which are almost like tinfoil pieces, which I've just had explained to me were thrown from the aircraft over the channel, and it actually looked as it shimmered down to the ocean or to the ground, wherever it was thrown out of. It was spotted on the radars and looked like more planes. So a way of using very, very fine foil to be able to get rid of the enemy. Gosh, there's loads of it, loads there as well. What a great thing. God, we had to be clever back then, didn't we? Let's hope we don't have a war now. So this piece of glass here tells its own story. It's what, just short of 1/2 inch thick, and it's got white bubbling on the inside where it's been in a fire. and I've been told it is not thick enough to be a front window, but it could most definitely be a side panel window. Look at that inside, it's almost like a snow globe. How pretty. Pop that back for somebody else to find and have a look at. The oxygen bottle that I've seen many times before. You're not supposed to touch them in case they are under pressure, but you can see that this one's got holes in it. Oh, lots of bolts here have been melted into a piece of metal. Oh, got some bullets. Let's go and have a look at some bullets. Rich has just found a bullet. Now this has definitely hit heat. Look how it's exploded. Now I might know much about planes, but guns I definitely do growing up on a farm. If it's shootable, I've probably shot it at one stage or another in my life. So yes, a .303 round. How exciting! I would have never have spotted that. Takes an expert. So here I've been told that we're now at the side where the watchtower is, and this is where the runway was, and that is a section of the old runway, which is incredible. Did not know that any of that was surviving anywhere, otherwise I would have recorded it way before now. And so now we're going to go over there and have a little butcher's and see what we can find. And it absolutely wouldn't be a trip to Lindholm or the Moors without coming here to what is now an absolutely knackered control tower that has seen much better days. What a sorry state that's in now. Every single window's out. Well, there we go. Gosh, what a day today it's been. It's been absolutely awesome. We've seen the crash site of R1073, which is actually the memorial for W5557, which is truly beautiful. I would never want them to move the memorial for obvious reasons. It does serve as such a beautiful place. And you know, that plane did crash somewhere on the moors, we just don't know where. We also went out to the Lancaster bomber. Nobody died in the Lancaster bomber, thank goodness. That plane came down in October 1945, so just after the war. Nobody died on there, no casualties at all. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't done already, please press the subscribe button. The more subscribers we have, the more freedom that YouTube gives us, which is awesome. There's a little bell at the side of the subscribe button. If you press on that, you'll get all of our notifications as and when we upload any content. We upload every Thursday at about 4 o'clock. If I can do, I upload about RAF Lindholm as well on a Saturday at about 4 o'clock. This is different. Today I'm doing this on a Thursday because I simply have not had time with it being the Easter holidays, and I really wanted to get more Lindholm content out there for you guys because I know how much you all enjoy it. And also, if you look down in the description below, you can become a member of WWII Kid. All of my members get exclusive content. I try and do as many lives as I can, but my internet access is rubbish, so I tend to do more videos. You will get more videos if you become a member. Again, the link is below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful Easter weekend. Take care. Bye bye. Brilliant. Did you like that vlog today?
Yeah.
And what do you do now?
Hit that